Hello, world. Since I'm dressed like a preacher today, I'll begin this session with a verse of scripture. Luke 14:28 says, "Who builds a tower without first counting the cost?" And unfortunately, that who is most people. Most people launch into tasks, activities, and a lot of the different things they need to do in their business without fully understanding the cost. And they run into a dangerous issue called scope creep. As we think about our operating rhythm and managing the things that we need to do and looking at all the tasks we need to take care of, as you've gone through the process of documenting your dollars, your taxes, and your leaches, and the things that actually generate revenue and bring the most results for you, one of the things we fail to do is fully articulate how much time it takes to do all of those tasks, fully counting the cost. And the issue comes in making sure that you have done everything you need to be ready to get ready to do the task, and finding yourself in a place where you sit down to create or to build or to take this next step, and you have to go and find other information, get more resources, get something from someone else, and all of those incremental pieces, that backwards planning of what you need to do, creeps the scope of the work you need to do, and the 2 hours you set to do something winds up taking you 4, 5, 6, and delays the rest of your schedule for the day, and your operating rhythm is now offset going forward. To avoid that, you need to make sure first and foremost that as you sit down early on when you're doing your planning in your offering worksheet to document the activities you're doing, you've got to put down everything that's involved in executing those steps. So early on in the process, you're first and foremost documenting everything in detail. The next thing is, as you're doing that work, once you move on to your operating rhythm and you're watching where your time goes, every time you see your time slip, you set 2 hours to execute this task and you missed, you got to look at what caused you to get backed up and document all those pieces that were the causes of that scope creep to expand past the time you needed, and be able to engineer ways to get around that by planning in advance. That means that prep for that event goes on your calendar as well. You have to document that as one of the taxes in order to do that dollar, to make sure that you're prepared and ready to do that for avoiding the scope creep to take time away from your schedule. One of the tools we're going to give you is we're going to be posting this focus plan for all of our active students. This worksheet, this focus plan, which we will have available for any active student through the website, to pull down and track and plan the activity. What is it you want to accomplish this day? What are the things you need to do? What time of day will you be doing it? And what resources are required to make that thing happen? As you use that training wheel worksheet to plan your activities, that focus plan for a day of work that will help you to document all the pieces of the tasks in 2 pages that you need to do for a block of time or for a day, that will allow you to now go back and update your operating rhythm with all the additional pieces that go into accomplishing the tasks that you're required to do, so that you can avoid that scope creep and be able to manage your time better. Tell your hours like your employees exactly where, what, and how to do what they should do. All right? Hope that's helpful. Keep up with this operating rhythm journey. Do what you need to do to make sure that you're honest with yourself about where that time is going. Those leeches are probably tied to some emotional things or some stresses that you need to find ways in your daily rhythm to give yourself the room to plan out that stress relief and that emotional management so that you're able to execute at the highest level throughout the day. Be honest with yourself as you do these time audits, and stick with this, because in every case I've ever seen from advising people all over the globe, execution comes down to that personal touch, that operating rhythm, that piece of you that is getting in the way of the plans that you set forth, because no plan works if you don't. You have a great rest of your day. Stick with this, and we'll see you at the end of the Sales Intensive.